Hey y'all, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, the special education boss. If you've ever felt confused, overwhelmed, or just plain frustrated at the 504 IEP table, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm breaking down the rules, the rights, and the realities of special education so you can walk into meetings informed, empowered, and ready to make real change. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, an advocate, a school-based member, or somebody who's just trying to do right by a student, this podcast gives you straight talk, real answers, and tools that you can use immediately. I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to play sides. I'm here to train people who sit at the table and teach you how to follow the law, ask the right questions, and protect the rights of students. So go ahead and hit subscribe, share this with a friend, and you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change. We're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. Hey, y'all. Welcome. Oh, here's my book. It was under my other book. Okay. I really would lose my brain if it wasn't, my head if it wasn't screwed on. You know what happened in my IEP meetings? We came to consensus. Can you believe that, Cindy? Somebody touch me. It happened. It happened. It was like, I was to say an apocalypse. What is that when the sun, you can't see the sun?
Eclipse?
Eclipse. It was an eclipse. It's a total eclipse of the... All right. So who is coming to see us in Kentucky? Anybody? Put some hearts in there if you're coming to see us. Yes. So we have our Barnes & Noble book signing Thursday the 12th. If you're not muted, I can hear you. Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. And you guys are all coming. I know that you're driving from 17 states over. Okay, there's whatever that is, there's a... Okay, do you have them both open, Cindy? Oh, no, she's not saying it. Can you hear us now, Cindy? No, she can't hear us. See? Can y'all text Cindy that I can't hear her, and she can't hear me, but we both look good, which is really all that matters. Any Austin, Texas dates? Yes, we're going to Austin, Texas. I think somebody gets the thumbs up. I think that we're going around July 25th. Is that correct? AP, isn't that correct? Influence? Ma'am, I can't do everything. I can't do everything. I did get myself dressed today. I don't think it's ever too early to wear sequins and glitter. Somebody got there. ZZ Medina got book yesterday. Do you love the book? Do you guys love the book? And can you please, all of you, can you go to the great Amazon and give me a review? So, but we had a great Monday. Did you have a great Monday, Cindy?
I did, ma'am.
Did you karate chop anybody in an IEP meeting?
No. IEP meeting was very successful today.
Are you just saying that, or you just don't want us to know where the bodies are buried?
Well, on another day.
That was last week. Okay.
Yes.
So for today, you would pass the honesty test, right?
I would.
No IEP members were harmed.
No IEP members were harmed. However.
That you remember.
That I remember. Mikey did elope twice just because he wasn't feeling the best and he didn't want to take that last lap around the track. But they were able to get him and bring him back to class where he was able to rest.
Well, let's just all say happy birthday, Mikey. You guys put happy birthday to Mikey in the chat. He is 21, a superstar in Orlando. We love Mikey. So, you know what? We all need the exercise on Mondays, right? He's fast too, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
He's very fast.
Way faster than me.
Yes. Somebody said, how do you get a para for an eloper? I'm like, I don't know if Usain Bolt is available, but there's that. And can I just say, are we all watching the Olympics? Can we talk about that? Not so much the Summer Olympics, but I feel like, I could wear that little dress and could skate. And I really feel like if I made the cross sign across the front, I could just do the triple salchow. I just feel like, being from Texas, I could do a salchow. Have you ever done a triple salchow, Cindy? Have you ever done half of a salchow?
What is that?
You know, when you're skating and they go up 3 times. This triple salchow. Yeah. And that skiing down the mountain, who does that? In a baby suit. Who does that? Not me. All right, so Cindy, do we have questions? We have questions about the book. Oh, Snoop Dogg with the Olympics is amazing. Yeah, he was funny this summer. He's like, look, cuz, that horse is crip walking. Yep. All right. Yes, join the Academy. You guys come see us tonight. We are an amazing series, Procedural Safeguards. Well, you don't know. You don't know. And I can say that for sure. All right, Cindy, let's hear the questions. With results, would it be to hold back, get a para? Oh, I missed the other question. Okay. Taylor.
Sorry, I was on mute. I apologize. For some reason, my IG is not working the best. So if
that's okay. We'll throw Alan in the IG comments, and I can see you guys in Instagram. You guys can ask a question. I'll do the IG, and we'll tag team.
Perfect.
If you don't have your Epic IEP book, I'm going to give you a waiver. I'm going to give you another few days, but I'm going to need you to log on and get it, people. Log on.
So we have several comments comments in the comments.
You have comments in the comments?
Comments in the comments.
That's very unusual.
That people are getting an additional book because, like me, you don't want to write in the original one. You want to highlight them one, so I have to get a second one.
Oh, thanks, you guys. I really, really appreciate all the love.
Woohoo! Absolutely.
Cindy, isn't there something you want to tell us about another book that comes out in a couple of days that sounds like coffee and para? Go ahead, Cindy. Yes. Tell them about the book that's coming.
Oh, my goodness. This is a book that is huge because we want to know, what are parents' roles? What do they do? What do they not do? What can they legally do? What can they legally not do? So, for your enjoyment, Karen is going to tell you again and again, and you will have the book for it.
Yeah, so the Epic IEP Para Guide comes out the 28th at the end of the month. If we have it a little bit earlier, we'll let you know. You guys, we put all of that in one book, and we crosswalked it and crypt-walked it and sidewalked it, and so it's all going to be there. The law, the statute, every state website, the federal code, ESEA, Elementary School Secondary Education Act, 1965, which was a good year. It's when I arrived. We're going to have all the amendments that they made, of course, and then it turned into No Child Left Behind, 2001, President Bush, and it turned into 2015 for the 50th anniversary, Every Student Succeeds Act. And lo and behold, if it isn't right there in the law, it's not easy to find it in the law. And guess what? We found it for you. So it'll be in your little hand, and you'll go up to your administrator and you'll say, Mr. Bob, it looks like I'm an amazing para, but I shouldn't be teaching the life skills class all day. And you have to give him this look. That's the look he's going to have. Get the para handbook for him. How many of you guys want a copy of the Epic IEP para handbook? Just let me know in the comments. Para guide. Yep, para guide. Not Paraguay, but para guide.
With results, would it be to hold back or get a para, etc.?
I mean, it would be a very unusual situation for me to recommend that you retain a student. There's not a lot of data that supports that being successful. However, if you have a kindergartner or a first grader and you believe that they have not met the bulk of their state expectations, then that's something you would certainly consider as a family. It's not an IEP decision. It's not a 504 decision. It's a decision between you and admin. And if you want to do it, I wouldn't bring it up now like this. I wouldn't say a word. In May, when you're giving him the principal appreciation para guide, with a coffee cup, I would say, would you be opposed to us retaining Trevor? And Cindy, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. You know, I'm always teaching you guys how to negotiate and navigate, right? And one of my favorite books is Jim Camp, Start With No, that you get better answers if you have no-oriented questions. Well, you will not believe who did that to me this morning.
Who?
Special ed teacher on the East Coast. She said, would you be opposed to? Now, you know, I just folded like a deck of cards. I said, I'll take that deal. I was so impressed. Yeah.
Sounds like you taught something.
Yeah. She taught. No, I don't know her from Adam. No, she black swan me. She said, would I be opposed to? I was like, girl. So, great person in Georgia. We're going to steal her. Rachel's going to drive over and snatch her.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah. That was a word in my IEP today. Snatching.
Snatching.
Yeah. I said, so what happens when, Billy wants something from a student and they have it? And she goes, he snatches it. Oh, okay. Well, I said, does he return it when you ask him to? Yes. Then that probably doesn't rise to the level of needing an IEP goal since he's 5. He snatches it. I like that. That's good when you want something or a facelift. Snatched.
If it's an egg roll, I'm snatching it.
Egg roll.
Working as a school team with a parent who really wants a one-on-one, the school does not feel data supports this. Thoughts on what to tell the parent?
Data has no feelings. Data doesn't have feelings. It has evidence. So the data doesn't support that that's an educational need right now. But we will certainly keep an eye on that. But there's no data to support that that would be his least restrictive environment. And other than hospitalization, the juvenile justice system, homebound, that's about as restrictive as you can get. Even some people on this Zoom wanted to have a one-on-one AP. I sorted that out. This ain't that.
I need that book. How do I get it?
Oh, just go wherever books are sold. So this is, you guys have made us so proud. So we debuted last week at number 28 on the USA Today National Bestseller, number 14 on Publishers Weekly, and number 1, it's been number 1 for 7 weeks on Amazon. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we'll get this wherever books are sold. A lot of the retailers are sold out. Thanks to you guys. They're restocking like Christmas. They're restocking. So if you are going to grab it, go grab a couple. One for you and one for your leader.
There was a picture of one in our bookstore, and somebody went to grab it, trying to outrun another person, and then they realized it was just the cover.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's amazing. I heard a lady say this, it was the last one on the shelf. I was like, it was on a shelf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Just starting my journey. I'm glad to have your book. My daughter is 5.
Oh, thank you.
The academic present levels were missing from my kid's IEP. Discussed in the meeting. Should I reject it?
Not reject it. Just we're waiting for the finalized copy for you to fix all clerical errors. I only rejected the first husband. Actually, I released him from his hard time. He did 13 years of hard time for me. I stamped his card and let him go. And now somebody else has scooped him up. And he couldn't be happier. I'm sure it was me. I have no doubt it was me.
Oh, that's funny. How do I get a 504?
So a 504 is for a student in school that has an identified disability that solely needs accommodations, which are more than can be, they need support solely, more than can solely be delivered by the general education teacher. It would be very unusual that your child only needs a 504. But test for special education, and then that will sort it out, because testing does one of two things. It identifies, and say it with me, Cindy. It identifies. Testing does one of two things. It identifies,
identifies or eliminates.
There you go. And we both want that. Who doesn't love a good elimination?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've talked to 2 former teacher friends in the last couple of days. I want to get out and be an advocate. How do they do this?
Get out. So first of all, swing by Home Depot, get your boxes, because you're headed out before you know it. And then we're having our live 2-day, the first one of the year. We're only going to do a couple this year. So it'll be a live virtual, and we've already had tons of interest. The 7th and 8th, March 7th and 8th, March 7th and 8th. Did I say March 7th and 8th? March 7th and 8th. Brand new workbook. It's going to be ridiculous. And then, guess what, Cindy? 2 weeks after that, we start the mastermind. So those of you that want to learn our principles, protocols, and practices of how we advocate, and all of my partners advocate. And so we believe that after taking these classes with a 90-day commitment to the ways that we teach you to run your business, grow your business, and serve families, that you could be a full-time advocate.
I love when we get a new workbook. It just makes taking notes even that much more special.
The teachers, they like the workbook.
Absolutely. And you know what, ma'am? When I left the profession, I didn't bring boxes. I left it all behind because I wasn't going back.
You don't? You don't have like a laminator somewhere in your house?
Well, I still use the laminator for scrapbooking.
Okay, and Mikey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever put your finger in the laminator?
No, I think it's too fat. But I did say, when I perish, laminate me and hang me on the wall in the cafeteria because I'll do lunch duty.
Oh my gosh. Laminate me.
If a parent does DPR, even though no deficits according to data, school dines not have to test, correct?
I don't know what DPR is. And when I say I don't know, every state has so many different acronyms and medical. And so is DPR an intervention?
And that's from Maria, just in case it comes in on the bottom.
Okay. My bottom's not going. Oh, district parent. Oh, Maria says it's a district parent referral. So a referral is a referral. So we would still need to do full testing.
The school is handing out 504s like crazy due to ADHD and ADD diagnoses. I basically don't have a choice. Thoughts?
You always have a choice. You absolutely have a choice. So 504 is not candy, but it is $2 or $0. If your child does not get testing, then you need to be provided a legally sound prior written notice, which has 7 legal components. It's the series we're going over in Special Education Academy every Monday night. So you should join Special Education Academy. It's free. I cannot make it less expensive than free. I can't do it. I can't. So come join us. Your first month is free. And then we're in that series. We also have past series that you can watch that are archived, over 400 hours worth of past trainings. And come stay for a month. If it's for you, stay. If it's not, we understand, but we certainly would love to train you in the academy and get all of your questions answered.
Can a school tell me no to speech in school, even though the doctor sent the referral for it?
A doctor's referral doesn't have anything to do with what happens inside of a school building. It's just a recommendation based on their professional expertise. But there's 3 kinds of models, right? A therapeutic model, a medical model, and an educational model. They don't always work well together, but you can get a full evaluation to see if there's an educational need.
Oh, thank you, Maria. Direct parent referral. So let me put that in here. If a parent does a direct parent referral,
Cindy, I already answered that question and read it.
My apologies.
It's okay. She's in another time zone. I'm just saying that.
True. I am. Far away. Several people said, I will be advertising your book. Everyone needs to know this.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank you.
And can you imagine if I had it 18 years ago?
You would have sorted out the Seminolians.
That is great. What type of interventions would you put in place to address a student who is diagnosed with ODD?
So the name doesn't tell me the need. The name tells me services that we can open up for. So emotional disturbance is, pretty much almost everything that occurs in the DSM-5 criteria. So we serve how the student shows up during the educational day, right? So you could have 5 kids with ED and their needs are totally different. So I would look through your evaluations and look and the evaluators, the diagnostician, the speech evaluator, any related services, the psychologist, the LPC, the LSSP, look at the recommendations that sat inside of their evaluation. And then also we want to write IEP goals around that. Certainly be looking at counseling as a related service. And then additionally, if we need an FBA, so that we can mitigate the need. Remember, we do one thing in special education, that is teach a child strategies to self-manage their disability.
I can't get teachers to provide info for the IEP. Help.
So we would need their input so that we can move forward. So if the school provides education to a student during his instructional day, their information should be in the present levels. Without that, we can't proceed. So I would email the school and say, will all the educators have populated the present level so we can have a successful business meeting next Thursday. Without that information, unfortunately, we're going to need to reconvene after all that information is gathered. And I think you just start out playing Prince. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to look at Rachel's present levels. Things we call life. Oh, and I need a vote. I'm going to need to have a vote because we start Friday. Friday the 13th will be my first in-person training on this. What is the music that I should walk out to? And listen, you guys, I'm 60, so I don't need any of that window to the wall stuff, whatever that means. But I feel like, Top Gun, some Welcome to the Jungle, Amazing Grace combo pack. I just feel like something like that.
We're going to have to put that in ChatGPT.
Yes, oh my gosh.
If student has processing deficit in fluency, but RTI data was taken for decoding, even though the class data shows deficits in fluency.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about? Yeah. We need to test the student for special education, right? And so if there's an educational need, then we do that, So, yeah, I would have that put in a prior written notice by close of business. Oh, 9 to 5, Dolly Parton. Working 9 to 5. That's a good song. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Any movie from the 80s.
Woohoo. Can admin tell you not to track behavior data?
I don't know. Maybe ask Coach Driggers. Admin can tell you to do lots of things that are unethical and gross. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, and I'm not sure what the...
Somebody said, how do I join the session soon to be available? Yeah, so if you want to join the academy, you go to specialeducationacademy.com, join the training. The 2-day intensive is listed there. You can do it live with us the 7th and 8th, or you can take it on demand. Is somebody, just check, are one of y'all in the comments of IG? I need somebody, okay, I just don't see any comments. Are y'all commenting? Okay, they are. I feel it in their heart.
Okay.
They're nodding.
Yep, I see the nod. The psychologist said they didn't think that was necessary. How do I move forward?
Yeah, put that in a prior written notice by close of business. I didn't think is not part of the 7 components of a prior written notice.
Can you talk about SOP?
What does SOP stand for?
Good question.
Is that SOAP? Is that SOAP without an A?
Summary of performance.
Yeah. So is that like a present level?
It's what's done at the end of the...
Yeah, a graduation.
Before student graduates.
Yeah, I don't understand what the summary of performance matters because we're done. So, yeah, I guess it's the last chapter. He's out. Peace out, Comfry. So, talk about information that doesn't help a student. So, I guess that's the summary of the IEP that you've delivered them. Not something I train on. But I hope it was good.
When is the para book coming out, please?
It'll be available in a couple weeks, right? I think probably in about a week and a half, we're going to have it for order. And it'll come straight to your house. And so, but it's going to be paperback in case you hit somebody with it. There should be no marks. Yeah, we thought about that. Bob, look at this. So we thought probably safer for you guys to have a paperback.
Does it have a boomerang option?
It does. You can actually just put a drone on it and drop it out to all of, the track coaches. Just kidding. I love the track coaches. I ran track. I didn't really run track. I did get 7th place in 1979 in track. There were,
wow.
Guess how many people were running?
How many?
7.
Oh.
Yeah. It's amazing how far you can get behind somebody in a mile run. You know why? All that Frito pies that I ate all day. Frito pie in Pflugerville. Not a good look at 5 o'clock. Do you know where? Have you ever heard of Pflugerville, Cindy?
No, ma'am.
How do you think you spell Pflugerville?
F-L-U?
Yeah.
No. P-H.
Nope. Pflugerville. P-F-L. Pfluger.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Fister faucets with their FPH.
Or really? Faucets. You're so funny.
If a student isn't academically suffering, but has a diagnosis of ADHD, is there a need for an IEP or a 504?
I love that. Academically suffering. So it's an educational impact. Does the student's disability have an adverse impact on their education? Write that down. I love that. Suffering academic. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Talk about how you advocate. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Talk about how you advocate for twice exceptional students, please.
It is hard, dear. It is very hard to advocate for twice exceptional children. So in America, we have a requirement for general ed, and we have a requirement for special ed. As you know, probably most of the kiddos that we serve in general ed are grade level or below. Then we have kids that are gifted. And kids that are twice exceptional, I have never felt successful in advocating for a child in public school, just because they're beautiful little 8-year-olds, but they're really 50-year-olds. And so it's tough. It's tough.
That is true. Very good. What are the other 2 books that you always talk about? I want to order one, but I can't remember the other.
Yeah, so one is the federal law book, right? So that is on our bookshelf. So if you just go to specialeducationacademy.com, we have a bookshelf. The federal code. So that is 34 CFR 300, volume 2 of 4. And we found out last night they're no longer printing law books. Did you know that, Cindy? They all stopped in 2022, which makes sense. People don't really buy books anymore. So you can download the federal code. So the last one printed was 2022. And then, of course, the DSM-5 criteria, the DSM-5. So that is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th version. And the Epic IEP audiobook, I actually heard back from the audio editor today. Did you know there was an audio editor?
I did not.
There's editing going on all over the place. I feel like Alan would have been a good editor. He'd be like, nope, do it over. Okay, Alan.
Do it nicer.
Do it nicer and sit up straight.
What is the criteria to determine if a child needs a BIP once an FBA is done?
If there is a behavioral need that needs more attention than solely a behavioral accommodation and a behavioral goal, that you actually need a behavior intervention plan. So 3 ways to support a child behaviorally. You could have a goal, an accommodation. You can have an accommodation and a goal. And then you can have an accommodations, goals, and a behavior intervention plan.
Let's see. Sorry, here we go. Can you tell me why I teach Aspire, but then they test with Fast Bridge? It's not even the same thing. Thoughts?
I have thoughts, but I probably shouldn't say them out loud. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just run teachers ragged. Remember the olden days when they just let y'all teach? Can you remember that far back? They just let you teach your class.
That was 1995, ma'am.
1995.
Yeah. Okay. My district is calling it a behavioral protocol to get away from what it is, a BIP. Thoughts?
I don't think I understand the question. Can you say it again?
Yes. My district is calling it a behavior protocol to get away from calling it a BIP. Thoughts?
Well, it's not a protocol. It's a plan. A protocol is just a way of doing something. A plan is an action item that we have to measure and progress monitor. So tomorrow when you go in there and you have your Epic IEP book in your hand, just walk up and go, snap out of it. I mean, wouldn't that be good if we could just start doing that?
Absolutely.
And they snapped out of it?
Now that's what, it'd be like a genie in a bottle, but you just snap them right out of it?
Snap out of it.
Absolutely. Oh, there we go. We do a great job with twice exceptional kiddos at my school. Ensuring accommodations and services are provided in advanced settings. I wish more people would do this. What's your take on addressing school attendance for kids identified as special education?
that we should address attendance, right? When there's an attendance need, there's always a reason for it. So whether you're SPED, whether you receive SPED services, you receive 504 plan, or solely general ed, if there is an attendance issue, we certainly should reach out and see if there's something we can help the family with. If there's a medical need. Is there an emotional need? Is there a physical need? Is there a disability need? Is there a sociological need? There's always a reason for the attendance issue. It's not happening in a vacuum. And we've really, really got to go back and remember, whether you like the child or not, they are children's. They're children's. They're children, right? I see really that sort of turn, and maybe it's just the mad people on social media, of adults being mad at children. They're children. And so I think we have to remember to do that.
I thought what you said was, we did an FBA, and I thought the kid needs a BIP.
So the FBA will tell you if you need a BIP, but you don't necessarily, the FBA, the Functional Behavior Assessment, is to identify the needs, try to figure out what the antecedent is, and do they rise to the level of writing a behavior intervention plan. I'm supposed to, wait, hang on, hold on. I'm supposed to tell you that you have completed the first stage of the club quest, which I think is Rachel. Club cheers has been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. All right, all the club cheer champions, go ahead. Woo!
Yay!
Yeah. I don't think Alan's one of those cheer champions yet. He could be.
This is my happy face. Let's see. I am about to have a meeting just like, oh, okay, there we go. Is your audio book coming out? Has it already come out? Or when will it come out?
Hasn't come out yet. Hasn't been recorded yet. It's coming.
Yay! I'm sorry. There we go. Sorry. My child can't be on a Chromebook, part of his 504, and has dietary restriction. The school is against it. How do I make this happen?
Yeah, we don't really care if you're against it. It's a need. It's a medical need, a diagnostic need, an educational need. It's not about being against it. I don't think any kid should have their face stuck in front of a Chromebook. The American Pediatric Association, 175 years ago, said a minor should not be on a screen more than 60 minutes a day. So I don't work with the American Pediatric Associations anymore, probably because I didn't finish my residency. And I don't know why we're sticking kids on computers.
Absolutely. Do you have any evaluation media? No. I have an I'm sorry. Let me start that again. I have an evaluative mediation. Any recommendations?
So I'm a certified mediator. So when you go to mediation, it's two different parties. The petitioner, really, so usually the parent. I'm not sure what you would be mediating over in an evaluation, unless you believe the evaluation components are invalid, broke protocols, and there's educator misconduct. But a mediation is for both parties to share their side with the impartial person who's the mediator, and they go back and forth between both parties to try to reach resolution.
Is your book helpful for special education teachers?
Cindy, what is your previous vocation?
Special education, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I mean, but you probably didn't do it for very long, right?
27 years.
Okay. So the question was, is the book valuable for special education teachers, Cindy?
And I would have to say absolutely it is imperative for special education teachers, as well as me being the MTSS lead in my county for 7 years. This book, had I had it before I resigned my position, would have stopped me from teaching everybody incorrectly. It is based on the law. It is readable. It's relatable. Block off a day and a half, order food in, grab your tissues, and get ready for a good ride. It's so good.
There's your answer. Cindy's an actual live educator.
Yeah. Let's see. They did not even send paperwork, NTI work home. Is that a bad thing? They know I am also a teacher.
They did not send paperwork home for what?
NTI work? NTI.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. It's from Coach Lee Man. Okay, there we go. My son's father, my ex, disagrees with my child's ADHD and autism. Having an IEP, he denies his diagnosis. What can happen?
Everything can come off the rails. So when I have a client and they're no longer betrothed to each other, which happens, right? As an advocate, whichever party hires me, I'm going to get both parents on a Zoom prior so that we can be on the same page. Usually when people disagree with a child's medical diagnosis, I'm not being sexist, but it's often the father, and often when it's a son. But my job is to advocate for the child, so I try to give language around that for both parents so they feel comfortable with us proceeding forward. We should look at it as a medical need. If your child was running a high fever for days, I don't think you would be mad at your ex for going to the doctor to get medicine, for you an intervention. And so special education is a educational intervention.
Good answer. What is the criteria to give adaptive physical education?
Your physical education skills are out of the normed and average range for your state standards. Oh, look, that's Stephanie Marie. Y'all all wave. We're all waving Stephanie Marie. She's probably out there hitting golf balls, chasing birdies.
Oh, I hope so.
Is there a birdie, Rachel, that you can send on the side? Is there a bird thing?
That's funny. Hopefully it's warm if she's doing that. Do I have to put my 8-year-old on an IEP to get help with math?
If you want special education services, those exist inside of an IEP. And here's the deal. You're not putting them on an IEP. An IEP is for general ed students that need special ed support. It's not bad news. It's not a scarlet letter. It's not a bad husband or wife or a yucky tattoo. It's simply additional services at school so that your child can be successful.
Okay. A student has harmed me twice. The principal and sped staff do not want the parent to know. Thoughts?
That's dumb. And that's inappropriate. So we're charged with writing that information up. The job of leadership at the school is safety. If there's no safety, there's no learning. And when you have a child who's on a 504 or a general ed student or a special ed student who's allowed to continuously harm somebody else, then we're teaching all the other children to do that. We're also teaching children that adults are liars, because adults said that they would protect children.
My kid was the one with the Chromebook no Chromebook on a 504. The school didn't send home paperwork for NTI. Did we figure out what that was? Snow days.
Yeah, I don't participate in snow days. I was in an IEP meeting today, and I was trying to tell the related service provider we will not be participating in virtual, and she did not get it. The more English I spoke, the less English she understood, and finally the principal goes, it's fine. We're not putting it in there. So let's talk about virtual really quickly. This virtual bologna sauce is bologna sauce. So there's never been an exemption for special education services. Wasn't during Harvey when it rained here in Houston for 22 days, and millions of families were displaced. We thought in the whole year of 2020 we were for sure that Betsy DeVos, the Secretary of Education, the Education Secretary, we were pretty certain she was going to come on TV at 6 o'clock on a weeknight and go, all right, school districts in America, we're giving you a pass for special education. It's never existed. So in absolutely no world am I letting one of my families and one of my clients sign an IEP that agrees to virtual and a reduction of the IEP. It's going to be a no for me. Also, we don't plan for an IEP for something that may never happen. We plan an IEP based on present levels. So this is what I say. So should the district close down for any reason, we are amenable to a meeting to look at another educational platform for Trevor. You don't have to sign it. If it's not the law, don't sign it. And so I said it's not codified. I think I said codified 3 times. I think that she thought that was a type of fish.
Oh.
I do love a good codified with some hush puppies, but I'll be here all night. There's no additional charge. Isn't that right, Rach?
A student day consists of feeding, changing, and stretching due to 2 severe disabilities. What's the LRE?
Well, I think that his day probably has more than that in there. I think that he probably has IEP goals. So the LRE is the most appropriate place to implement his special education services, instructional services, and related services. Oh, NTIs for the whole school. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, non-traditional instruction. So it would be...
Oh, that's what I do. That's what I am. I am NTI, baby. That is what I am.
So when they're out for a snow day, you have a non-traditional instruction day?
Yeah, we don't participate in non-traditional instruction day. Not interested. You know what we're going to do during the snow day? Stay in our jammies and eat way too much sugar and stick a dill pickle in a can of Tang. That's what we're doing.
No sled riding?
No. That's going to mess up my hair.
That's funny. Okay. How much does an advocate cost, and how do we get one of the advocates on your team?
Yeah, so just email us, advocate@specialeducationacademy.com, and we'll assign you to one of our ridiculously amazing advocates, and they will send you their opening documents, which includes their financial agreement and their legal requirements to start services.
What if ICT is not diverse, but other classes are?
So diverse isn't a thing. It sounds good, but it's not a thing. So diversity in schools is not a requirement that we have so many ratios of African American kiddos, Asian kiddos, other nationalities or races. So diversity is not a legal requirement under IDEA, which is a civil right. And so kiddos that have educational needs will be different at every class and every campus and every district.
Can you tell us some of the places that you will be for the book?
Sure. So we'll be in Kentucky, West Virginia, Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, which is neither a road nor an island. I'd like to say that for the record. Houston, San Fran, Cisco, Phoenix, Dallas, Orlando, New Orleans, Michigan, all the places that have indoors. Indiana. Yep, Sue Davis, we're coming to Indiana. And if you're interested in being a stop on the Epic IEP book tour, just reach out to us. Just go to Special Education Academy. On the first page, go all the way to the bottom, there's a bus. If you would like for us to come and train your staff, your teachers, your leadership, your board members, your nonprofit, your agency, your parent group, we are available to do that. Rochester. We do love a good Rochester. I was in Rochester one time in December. You guys have a lot of white stuff on the ground. I mean,
oh, yes.
Yeah. And you walk around in shorts like that's normal.
In an MDR, can you include anything outside of what's documented to determine if it's a manifestation?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the MDR, is to make sure that we have documented everything that's going on emotionally, behaviorally, physically, and medically with said student. And sometimes the district is not in possession of that information. So we bring all of those pieces together, like you're in poker. You take all of your chips and you push them to the middle of the table. And then we look at all of those needs and say, is there a probability that this action was a direct result or causation linked to his disability? Number 2, or is it the failure of the district to implement the IEP? And they could both be no. One could be no. One could be yes. They could both be yes. I think that's the only combinations, right? 2 no's, 2 yeses, 1 of each. Yeah.
Someone's very excited about you being in Rhode Island for the book. They want to know when.
as soon as we get there. I mean, when I get there, you will know. You'll feel it. Like, yeah. Yeah. AP, do we have a month guesstimate? No. We're firming it up like a good pair of pantyhose.
That's funny. Legs, eggs.
Legs, eggs. You know, you can't buy pantyhose anymore at the Walgreens. So you better stock up. Somebody said Wisconsin. Yeah, actually, we've had several people reach out from Wisconsin.
Okay. Were we waiting on a date?
Yes, when we have one. Yeah, so Rachel, we're not doing that because we're not having the BIP. Look at Rachel's face. Look at her little pursed lips. Yeah. So, she's so funny. It's time.
Fantastic. Okay. Here we go. Can you please tell us what the QR codes were in the back of the book?
Yeah, the QR codes in the front of the book are enroll in the Epic IEP Academy. That's what we have every single Monday night. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's free the first month. Resources that every successful advocate needs. And come train to be an advocate. Start your journey today. And, I don't know if you guys know this, we got a photo in the back. Look at that photo. Do you like that? Look at that. Who doesn't love a good photo? Matthew. It's you. It's you.
Yes. A student qualified for self-contained. His school didn't have one, so he came to us. After 8 weeks, principal wants him back in Gen Ed. Is that okay?
So if he left his campus, it's because you have a program that they don't have at the other campus. So you could still be part of that program and have general ed minutes at your school.
I would love to be an advocate. Tell me how.
Come on down. You're the next contestant. Da-da-da, da-da-da. So we have our 2-day intensive, which is on demand. And then we have a live 2-day intensive coming up that I'll be teaching Saturday, March 7th, Sunday, March 8th. And then 2 weeks after that, we start the mastermind. We need advocates. We need advocates. We need advocates. They don't exist. Good ones don't exist, and enough good ones. So there's 8.5 million children in America with an IEP. So I feel like we need to have a couple of advocates, right, Cindy? Like 10? Like 10?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You get 1 million. I get 1 million.
Sounds reasonable.
Alan gets 0.5.
Gets 0.5. Okay. So, what about the Civil Rights Law 504? All black ICT versus majority with general ed.
I'm going to need you to read that question one more time.
Yes, absolutely. What about the Civil Rights Law 504, question mark, all black ICT versus majority white gen ed?
So are we talking about races of children?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a comment on children's race. The pigment of your skin has nothing to do with your educational need. And that's all I'll say about that.
Got it. What if ICT is 3 hours daily, but the kid didn't get it because related service detract from those hours?
Then you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd love to be an advocate, come train with us. A 2-day Rock Your World for Normal Special Education Academy. Go sign up for the trainings. It's amazing.
So 2-day intensive is live or virtual?
You can get it on, well, it'll be live virtual. You can get it on demand. So you can go acquire it right now. But we're having a live virtual, which will be the same content, but it'll be live. So I'll be there. You'll be there. So whether you're on a beach, a balcony, a bathtub, you could log on. If you're in a bathtub, we would prefer that you keep your camera off. That's what Cindy did. And the splashing to a minimum. So the great thing about the live virtual is that you can get your questions answered at the end of each section. We would love to have you.
Oh, sorry. Is Mastermind different than the 2-day intensive, or is it just additional time?
Cindy, is the Mastermind different, or is it just more of the same?
Oh, it is epically different. This is what makes you different from anybody else and ready to go to that table and get what you need for that kiddo.
As she said, oh, yeah. The Mastermind is a 6-week deep dive intensive. It's your graduate program, but you don't have to spend $50,000.
It truly was better than my master's degree.
Oh.
I can say that.
And I can't.
Master's degree, mastermind, master's degree, so much less expensive.
Master mug. Alan has a master mug. It will make you the who's who in special education. That's what we should start, you guys. Write that down, Angie. We're going to annually have a who's who in special education. And they can all pay $35 to be in. Well, that was 40 years ago. Oh my God, that was more than 40 years ago. It was 42 years ago.
Wow.
Who's who in special education. And then we'll have another section, who hidden.
One more time, where do we buy the books?
Yeah, so you can just go to our bookshelf. So go to Special Education Academy, go to our bookshelf, and all the books are there. Put them in your cot. Put them in the cot.
Excellent.
In the cart, ma'am.
I have a student in a general education classroom because they are bored. The student is twice exceptional. What can I do?
I think that you're the teacher, right? I would teach the class as required.
I have a student who struggles in gen ed with paras when the paras are out. They struggle with the content and they're visually overwhelmed. Thoughts?
So if we have a student that receives special education services in a general ed classroom, there has to be in-class support and somebody delivering the special education and the accommodation. So I wonder who that is. Because I think we all know that paras, which will be in your para handbook, which is available to order in 2 weeks, do not replace teachers. They do not provide initial teach. They do not implement the IEP goals and progress monitor and measure without direct supervision, close and frequent contact with the teacher. Actually, I saw something this weekend. It actually says close physical proximity. I don't know how many more words we need to add to direct supervision. If I can't reach out, touch you. I mean, really, we should just have the para on a bungee with the special educator.
Would it be too much to give my son's teacher, guidance counselor, assistant principal, and principal all copies of the book?
Oh no, it's a great book. The second person it's for is for educators. I wrote this for educators. A powerful playbook for parents, educators, and advocates navigating the IEP process. At the end of every chapter, there's a checklist for parents, a checklist for educators, a checklist for advocates. I don't know, Lauren. Lauren's going to come off mute. Would you have liked to, you're a licensed diagnostician and a national educator. Would you have liked to have had this book when you were in school districts?
1,000%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you would it have hurt your feelings if somebody gave it to you?
No.
No, because educators are information junkies. So, yeah.
I have an extremely long question and situation. How would I get guidance and help on this?
So if you want representation, you can reach out to us at advocate@specialeducationacademy.com. And that would be the best way. And so when you get an advocate, they can do a records review, they can do recommendations, they can do next steps, they can file for you, they can go and support you at the IEP meeting, whatever level of support you need.
Excellent. Okay. The child that would run out of the classroom, it says he has a para. He runs out of the classroom, and the special education teacher and general education teacher work with him. Is it the special education para that should run after him?
I don't know that we should have somebody set up to run after people. I don't think that's a good teaching model. We don't let kids run in the hall. So why do we have something set up where we know that somebody has to run after somebody? That is not a good, that's not a good setting. I would want that elopement to be down before we bring a child into a different, a general ed setting like that. Oh, Peter Advocates is back. Peter Advocates is back. Y'all say hi to Peter.
Hi, Peter Advocates. What do I do as an employee, realistically, when I request at the district level for help for an ASD, physically aggressive student, and they refuse to help me? I just don't know what to do.
I would say, based upon the outcomes of this child in my classroom, I don't feel like I have the opportunity to provide an equitable education for everyone in the class. When will I expect support from the district?
In New Jersey, if a district doesn't test for dyslexia, can you have them pay for it privately?
If you win a hearing. So somebody just said, spoken like someone that's never worked in a school. So are you assuming speech path 68 that I've never worked in a school? Is that your assumption? Because you would be wrong. Ask me the question again, Cindy.
Absolutely. In New Jersey, if a district doesn't test for dyslexia, can you have them pay for it privately?
So, well, if they deny testing, then you have that denial in a prior written notice. And based on those components, you can always ask for an IEE. But yeah, we don't just get to deny parents testing without there being, a response. The district can't just say no. But before you would have them pay for services, you would have to find an educational need. I wouldn't go and get private services and just think that said school district is going to bust me out a bagel, a coffee, and a check.
With a schmear of...
With a schmear.
We love the schmear. Absolutely.
Actually, I like a big cup of it. Not even a schmear. That's more of a BB cream. I'm looking for full coverage.
That's wonderful.
Rachel gets it.
Absolutely. Let's see. What is the name of the para book coming out?
The Epic IEP Para.
Okay. Excellent. And what will be the next book?
So we have 2 books. We have 1 book already out. They'll both be available. It is The Unmuting and Saying It.
The Epic IEP Guide to Federal and State Statutes, and the Epic IEP Guide to Paraprofessionals.
There you go. I was going to say it, but I have it on a Post-it note, but I don't have the Post-it note with me. But I have Post-it notes. I'm full of, not just the cover is full of Post-it notes. As somebody said, did you know this one arrow, does she know it's going the other way? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
She is the arrow going.
I'm the other way. The other way.
And the Titanic is behind her and she's pulling it. Will the school pay for an out-of-state private school, or maybe, out-of-state private school, if the need is not available in the state?
If there's not an educational need, the district's unlikely going to write you a check for that. If there's an educational need that the student has that cannot solely be implemented anywhere in the district, county, or city, then I would have an IEP meeting to talk about consideration of out-of-district placement at the expense of the district. But just sending a child to out-of-district, out-of-state private, probably not going to have somebody write you a check.
Excellent. How is Title IX applicable with a child with an education when they are harassing others?
So that would be an OCR issue. So the Office of Civil Rights.
Excellent. Would you consider OHI for a diagnosis for ODD and ADHD?
I would consider it for ADHD, and then ODD is probably going to fall under an emotional disability.
There we go. I'm sorry,
Oh, and the other night, you know how I like to eat Smarties? Because it makes me smart. Because if you didn't graduate college, you just get a bowl of Smarties. It makes up for it. And so I was eating one, and I don't know, Lauren's asking a question, Rachel's asking a question, and some lady was like, ugh, the chewing. I just don't know how you can make all the people happy, Cindy. Because the chewing will not stop. I come from a long line of chewers, and the Candyman said, so.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't chewing like a whole can of Pringles. It was a Smartie, man.
No.
I need it to keep my smart levels up.
Yes, you're not a cow chewer. That's
No.
for sure.
Cow chew. I have been known to chew cow. I'm not opposed to cow chewing.
Me neither. Especially when it's on a sesame seed bun. Jimmy Buffett would be so proud. My kid needs a one-on-one, and we were granted one. But nobody is applying. What do we do?
So an IEP is not implemented based upon employment in a district. There is somebody in the district, I think somebody called them the desks and the titles, that they could get up from behind their desk and take their rear end on down to said campus while we're looking for somebody else. I bet you if that open position was a coach, we would find one. I bet if that open position was one of the 75 principals, we'd have one. I bet if that position was a superintendent, we'd have one. So there's a reason people aren't applying. Maybe because working for that place is not amazing. Maybe because we don't take care of them. Maybe because we don't honor them and celebrate them and pay them. All maybes. What do I know?
Can you be a special education teacher and an advocate all at once?
You can. I don't know how you would be able to support families in actual representation. So we've had several advocates that we have trained, and they were school district employees for a while. So one was an evaluator. So she kept her day job evaluating, and then did records reviews at night. And then once she became a full-time advocate, she still does private evaluations, but now she can advocate for kids, because you have to advocate for kids during the instructional day if you're going to actually represent them. She's amazing. And the school district made it miserable. Those two things are spelled differently. Amazing and miserable. And she's also a videographer. So I'm just saying. Even though it was tilted, it was still video. But she's going to get to do more videoing next week. What's coming up at the end of this week, Cindy? Am I going somewhere?
You are going somewhere.
Yeah. We have 9 stops. 9. Say it with me. 9. It's like 10 minus 1.
And I'm driving the bus.
And so we're going to Louisville. We're going to Louisville. We're going to Huntington, West Virginia, Parkersburg, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, and Lexington, Kentucky. So come see us. I feel like it's not that far. Just get in your car. You're not doing anything President's Day. So when you get off work Friday, just get your girlfriends, get your beverages, get your beaver nuggets, get some jerky, get in the car, and go.
A student with ASD, ADHD, ODD has been suspended for 8 days. What can we do better than just suspension?
So you need to find out what the behavior is telling you, right? What is the student trying to communicate with you? There's a reason for every behavioral output. And if you don't know that reason, then you're just reacting instead of responding.
Can you audio record at the IEP meeting?
Yep. So in all but I think 7 states, they are one disclosure states. So I'm recording. Obviously, if it's a 2 disclosure state, I'm not recording because that would be illegal. But if you have a disability, then you can record so that you can access that information later.
Somebody put in there, we now have to work on President's Day. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Somebody just said, you were right about Kentucky. You're about to be here and the snow is finally melting. We're bringing the heat.
Oh, we certainly are bringing the heat. The heat's name is KFC. Can a case manager, resource teacher, also be a behavior unit?
No. The resources are a behavior unit.
Do you ever speak at conferences? I'm thinking the Association of Educational Therapists.
I am a speaker. If you would like to get our speaker kit, our speaker reel, all the speakering things. I've been a professional speaker for over a very long time, over 35 years. So just email us at Advocate at Special Education Academy, and we'll get you the assets and get to working on a customized product for your event.
As an employee, can I bring an advocate to the meeting if the district is not helping?
You can bring an advocate to the meeting whenever you want. Somebody said I stopped rocking back and forth. Was I rocking back and forth? I think this is a happy movement. I don't think I was rocking. It's so funny what people pick up, right?
Oh, Peter advocates. Do you provide compliance training for districts?
Yes. Yeah. How to not have an upset parent at your next IEP meeting.
How about how to not have a parent that vomits on camera?
You ran away from the camera when you threw up.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
See?
You were a syncerator.
Yes. Can a sub-teacher, long-term sped, go on a field trip when there are 3 paraprofessionals in class?
What does long-term sped mean? So they're either a certified special educator, a certified general educator, or they're a substitute teacher with no credentialing. So tell me the question again, Cindy.
So the question was, can a substitute teacher long-term for special education go on a field trip when there are 3 paraprofessionals in the class?
Meaning that she leaves the class with just paraprofessionals?
That's a great question.
I don't know. Angie, paraprofessionals solely staffing a classroom. Would that meet the expectation of No Child Left Behind, IDEA, or Every Student Succeeds Act?
It sure would not.
It sure would not. But if she's not, if she's not a special educator, didn't really matter anyway. Or if somebody said, living my life well, said, nope. Nope. Heavy on the P, right? Nope.
Very good. And it was a sub-teacher with no credentials.
Yeah. But did she have results? See how I did that?
Number 1 bestseller, man.
Number 1 bestseller.
I think we got a few results.
Yeah. I like it,
Excellent.
Picasso.
All right. Oh, hang on. It jumped.
Oh, somebody just says, I work at a special school mental health facility. I was told IEPs don't have to be followed. That's interesting because we're actually in the process of doing training for a mental facility. So if a child is in the juvenile justice system, at the hospital, at home, at an institution, a facility, we have to implement the whole IEP as codified. Oh, user 234 bought the book. Thank you. Thank you all for buying the book. It means everything. And thank you for reading it. Thank you for enjoying it.
Does it take the same amount of time to do a re-eval as in an initial evaluation?
It depends on who we're evaluating, what their needs are, and how many evaluation categories you ask for, and how many assessments in that category.
I asked to see an assessment. The re-eval school said no. Thoughts?
What the Hello Kitty are you talking about? If your child's been assessed, that's your educational product. 300.613. That's why it's important to know the law. The law. That's why you guys should join the Epic Special Education Academy every Monday night. Because it's what, Rachel? What would you call it? Rachel would call it...
Epic. Phenomenal. Spectacular.
What the Hello Kitty is going on? I had a kiddo. Actually, I made a TikTok video a very long time ago. And I typed what the Hello Kitty. And let me just tell you, TikTok took that on down. I guess Hello Kitty is a brand. So I had a kiddo in a self-contained room, and he had severe autism. It was something. They were trying to teach him social skills, and when there was a problem, he would come in and go, what the Hello Kitty is going on in this room?
How do you find out if your state is a two-party state that can record?
So it's one-party state are states that you can record. So there's this thing called Google. and you would type in, is Texas a one-party state? Is Florida a one-party state? And it will say, yep or no. If it's one party, you need no one's permission to audio record. So if I have a cognition above 70, and Lauren has a cognition above 70, and I'm recording us, that's completely legal.
My daughter's 1-to-1 was sick, so my daughter had to miss school. Thoughts?
I mean, that happens. People get sick, which is why we need to have somebody that's trained to back up.
Do you think the pre-K para should be able to sit in on an IEP meeting?
I think every parent in America should be in an IEP meeting. That would be some fun, till the principal takes the para away. Yeah, that would last about 2 minutes. Miss Cunningham, we need to take a break. Rachel said too much.
Is it legal for there to be 22 students in a resource classroom with one teacher and no para?
It's
This
not
is in Texas.
It's not illegal.
We haven't had this one in a while. What's the difference between a 504 and an IEP?
504 is the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. It's a civil rights law for individuals in America identified with a disability that the entity where they are, work, or go to school cannot discriminate against them based on their known disability and deny them their accommodations. It's not an educational plan. I know you guys get all excited about your 504. Nothing to be excited about. We're not teaching anything. We're not measuring anything. We're not teaching kids strategies. And I believe that school districts do that to manipulate parents. That's my experience. And so, yeah.
I live in a one-party state, but they told me I can't record. They said it's board policy. Thoughts?
Your board policy doesn't override my right. So please provide me a copy of that board policy. And you know what? It still wouldn't override your rights. So if you're in Texas, and you would still have to have, even if you're in a one disclosure state and it was a board policy, then at the most you would have to give them notice of recording. So if you want to know if it's a board policy, reach out to your DOE, the Department of Education for your state, or your state education agency. And I could say, okay, what is the board policy for Denton ISD? Yep, it's under Ding Dong. Yep. And they can look up the board policy. Every state education agency has all the board policies. So often when people say policy, law, requirement, they're not being honest. There's other words you can use with that, but there you go.
I was scolded because I told a parent I had OT concerns for their child. Honestly, is that a bad thing?
To do what you were trained to do, to identify educational needs? No.
Is it legal for a substitute to be teaching in the classroom?
If they're credentialed for that class, yes.
Why does the school record if I'm recording?
Because if you ever go to hearing, that hearing officer, that fact finder, that district judge, the U.S. Supreme Court, they do not want a copy of your recording. They want a copy of the district's recording. So when I'm recording, I will say, and they'll go, somebody recording, I'll say, I'm recording. Okay, and they just keep going on. I'll say, so Rachel, I just want to confirm that you're recording too. Right? So I want everybody in my meeting completely informed. I'm not a gotcha. I'm too tall for that. So please record.
Do we need a PWN if the OT is not agreeing with component of the goal?
So a PWN is required when the district chooses to do something or chooses not to do something. So agreeing with a goal doesn't necessarily mean that I agreed to do something or disagreed to do something.
Is the school required to give me a copy of their recording if I ask?
I don't know. They're not. Well, it's part of your child's educational record, so of course. Now they can make that not easy to acquire, but I always say when a district's recording, hey, at the end of the meeting, when you send Angie Michael's paperwork, would you also go ahead and send the recording? Not a problem. Because you know what? Preparation is better than non-preparation. Because sometimes recordings evaporate. Have you ever noticed that, Cindy? Have you ever been in a high-impact meeting and then all of a sudden the tape recorder doesn't work anymore? The camera wasn't on. Ever had that truth told to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you believable them?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonders never cease. Excellent. So what's going to be the next book?
So the next book is the Epic IEP Federal Law Guide and State Law Guide. It's available now. And then in a couple weeks, we will have the Epic IEP Para Guide. And then after that, we're probably going to have the Epic IEP, say it with me, Cindy, workbook. Cindy's so excited. Yeah, the workbook makes her gasp.
It does.
Like she found like some Lennox salt and pepper shakers on sale at TJ Maxx.
Absolutely. If a substitute is not certified to teach any area of education, can they legally write an IEP?
Well, if you can't teach it, you can't write it.
And no, I'm not making these up all by myself. They're in the comments.
They're in the comments. Yeah, so we'll take about 5 more questions, and then we're going to get ready for the Epic Special Education Academy that everybody is joining us tonight because it's free. And football season is over, so we don't want to hear it anymore. So, you want to go to Monday Night Madness? Come to ours.
Aha! That's awesome. My son is in a behavior class and gets suspended. What can I do about this?
He's in a behavior class and gets suspended for what?
Good question.
Yeah.
Judy, let us know. Can they take away a field trip after a suspension for my ADHD son with behavioral issues?
I mean, at any moment, Principal Driggs has to decide, today, do I think that this student participating in the field trip would be safe, right? And if there's been current information that he's been unsafe, you got to think about all the children participating in the field trip.
Oh, Judy said bad behaviors.
Yeah, I would need, so bad behavior is not illegal. Sometimes I have bad behaviors. So what behaviors did he have that broke the student code of conduct and were not attached to the characteristics of his disability? So she said language, spitting. So again, I would have to see your paperwork, but either way, we would need to write an IEP to work on mitigating that.
Can you explain how STAR testing works with students on an IEP who has autism and ADHD?
So state testing is, there's one of 2 options available on the STAR test, which I'd like to say for the record is spelled wrong. So you either have the regular STAR test or you have the alternate STAR test, and there's STAR Alt 2 requirements to be met.
Excelente. Well, that was your 5 questions.
Was that Spanish? Excelente?
Excelente. And it was.
And is that T-A-Y? Excelente.
Yes. How did you know?
Yeah. Matthew, did you have any questions? Do you have any questions for Miss Karen, Matthew? Any questions, Matthew? Matthew, did you read Miss Karen's yellow book?
Yeah, but I don't have it right now.
You don't have it right now?
Yeah, but
Is it in the other room?
it's in the office.
Oh, it's in the office. Okay, we can look at it tomorrow.
We can see it.
Do you see this one?
Wow, look at this book. It's complete, but that's better too.
What Matthew said. What Matthew said. Matthew, did you love this book?
Yeah, but it's cute.
Matthew loved the book. So 4-year-olds love it. Your principal's going to love it. Your evaluator's going to love it. Your bus driver's going to love it. They're all going to love it. Even Alan loved it. He said, it was an easy read. I don't mean that in a bad way. I was like, okay, Alan, I'm not going to have you on the front row of the academy. It was okay. So, and we are trying to figure out who's going to play my husband in the movie. So we've already figured out that, of course, because I'm so tiny and young, Reese Witherspoon for me. And I'm feeling like Ben Affleck for my husband. Somebody like, listen, we got to hurt somebody. You can't tell anybody. And it never happened. That's kind of my husband. So we'll have to figure out what famous actor will play him. All right. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. We will see you in the Epic Special Education Academy every Monday night from 8 p.m. Central for an hour where I train in series and we open up for your complete questions. So get there. The 2-day training, March 7th and 8th is live. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be epic. And we're going to be training you guys to write epic IEPs. Remember, when you get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you guys in the next training. Hit subscribe. Share this with a friend. And you know what? Meet me back here every single week. We're not just talking about change. We're making it. Because when you know better, you do better. And when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody.